Detox Trip 2, written by Seongkeum, translated in English by Wonsun Choi, co-translated and narrated by Terry Bowles from Lee English Education. There is a luxurious 45-passenger bus waiting in the parking lot of Athens International Airport. The local guide is a Korean woman who seems to be in her late 50s. She is tall and slim. She wears a knee-length Turkish scarf around her neck. The blue scarf moves gently with the slight wind. The Greek bus driver looks like the movie star Rock Hudson. When we get on the bus, we are all in a hurry to take our seats. The old man takes the seat behind the driver, saying he gets carsick. I take the seat behind him. There are many seats in this big bus, so feel free to take two. The newlywed couple and the older couple sit next to each other, and everyone else takes their seat by the window. The guide sits in the front seat of the bus with a microphone. Now let me introduce the bus driver. He is the president of the bus company. He's 70 years old and he enjoys driving the bus. The bus driver raises one hand while driving, as if he understands Korean. Everyone on the bus applauds. The old man says, "He's the same age as me, and he looks very young. Seems that my years have been difficult." I glance at the face of the old man, who loosely quotes Jacob from the Bible. Jacob went to his uncle's house to avoid his older brother for fear that his brother would kill him. He worked hard for his uncle for decades and returned home rich with 4 wives and 12 children. For a moment, I remembered the story about Jacob from the Bible. The old man's hard life can be seen through his winding wrinkles like a terraced paddy field. Apart from the wrinkles on the old man's face, his face resembles mine. The old man must have been popular with women when he was young. In fact, being an old man is a great thing because it means he has survived through all the twists and turns. The bus slowly begins to run along the coastal road. Outside the window, I can see the blue sea of the Aegean Sea, picturesque hillside houses and yachts, and the marble mountains as white as snow. Looking at the view, everyone gives a series of exclamations. The reality that I am here seems to be a miracle. The bus arrives at Piraeus Port. The guide comments on the port. This is Piraeus Port, from the first chapter of the novel Zorba the Greek, written by Nikos Kazantzakis. I'll read you the first verse. I first met him in Piraeus. I wanted to take the boat for Crete and had gone down to the port. It was almost daybreak and raining. A strong sirocco was blowing the spray from the waves as far as the little cafe, whose glass doors were shut. I don't think about what happened yesterday. I don't even ask myself what's going to happen tomorrow. What matters to me is what happens today, at this moment. Crete's Heraklion Airport has been renamed Nikos Kazantzakis Airport. Isn't he a great writer? Let's be like Zorba from now on. Carpe diem. I agree with this passage very much. Enjoy this moment. What do you think? You all carpe diem too? I thought I didn't have much time left to do what I want to do. What makes my heart beat? I think about this and that, but I cannot easily settle my mind. Before my trip, my heart began to pound when I thought about it. Even though I was exhausted, my heart was pounding when I packed my things into my suitcase. My wife said to me, "While you are away, I'll run the martial arts center, so feel free to go. But do you promise to go around the world with me after the surgery?" Can I travel around the world like my wife said? I'm afraid this may be my first and last trip. I have a lot of thoughts in my mind. I will enjoy this moment without worrying about it. Carpe diem. I wonder which of these many ships Zorba took. We traveled by ferry to Aegina Island. We look around the Byzantine-style cathedral. It is a very small cathedral like Prague's. It is said that the Temple of Aphia and the Temple of Apollo are on Aegina Island, but we cannot get there. The guide gives us 30 minutes of free time. The tourists begin to take pictures of each group. Among the trio, a small plump woman comes behind me. She looks like a cartoon character. Her nickname is Mrs. Ho-Ho. There are so many pretty houses that I take pictures of while walking through the alleys. No matter where I put my camera, it is a wonderful photo. I don't even know time is passing while I am taking pictures, but suddenly all the people disappeared and I am the only one left in the alley. Most shops are closed because it is nap time, called siesta. I envy the people of this country who enjoy their nap time leisurely, even though there are so many tourists. I have never lived without being anxious. After being diagnosed with colon cancer, I went to Seongkeum Beach one day. I cried and screamed at the sea. "My father, where are you? Why is this happening to me?" I wanted to pass the buck to my father, who left when I was 9. It was because I grew up without a father and lived with a sense of inferiority. Just thinking about that day makes me cry. The begonia flowers on the terrace of every house look like they are in soap bubbles because of my tears. I turn on my cell phone camera, but I cannot take a picture because I am in tears. At that time, the guide shows up at the end of the alley. "Mr. Na, why are you here? If you're alone and lose our group, you'll have a hard time getting back to Korea. Let me take a picture of you." I pose in the middle of the alley, coughing in embarrassment. The picture came out well. "You look like a local standing here." She hands over my cell phone and I chat her up. "You look like a Greek goddess." Turning into another alley, I can see the only store that is open. I enter the store to avoid the scorching sun. Most of us are shopping there. There are small sculptures of the temple pillars, sculptures of the Olympic athletes throwing the disc, and sculptures of the goddess Athena. I buy some of them. We move to Athens and arrive at Syntagma Square. We gather in front of a statue of a running child. When talking about kilometers from Athens, people say they use this statue as an indicator. It is said that the Olympics began with Zeus's festival and the war was stopped during the Olympics. We move to Kalamamaro, a marble stadium. Baron Coubertin started the first modern Olympic Games. He thought the British Army's victory at Waterloo was due to sports education. So he organized the International Olympic Committee. At first, 13 countries participated in the Olympic Games. It was in a horseshoe-shaped stadium accommodating 69,000 people. There were 104 columns, all moved to the reservoir in Istanbul when Rome ruled. Mount Pentaculus in Athens is a marble mountain, so it looks as if the peak is covered with snow. The Greeks make a living by mining and selling marble in the mountains. We get on the bus and head for the Parthenon. The Parthenon of the goddess Athena is above the Acropolis, which stands tall in the middle of Athens. The Parthenon is World Heritage Site number 1. It means the Temple of Virginity. Athena is the goddess of wisdom, law, and justice, and of war. This temple was built after conquering Persia. Now, we need to get up fast before a lot of cruise tourists come. The guide covers her head with a long Turkish scarf to block the sunlight. You must wear sunglasses and put your hats on. Because of the strong UV rays in this area, you need to cover up your skin. Be careful it doesn't get exposed. Especially you, Mr. Na, be careful. Even the skin on the head hurts when it gets sunburned. When the guide points this out, I quickly pull my hat out of my backpack and cover my bare head. The whole party laughs out loud.